check mic yangu. 1 2 1 2.
Obato unasikia Clark? Tuko sawa. Mutani kauntia. Si mnaweka intro alafu tunaanza ama? Or what's going on? Ishaanza. We are already live. Tuendelee. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Ruaraka Media. This is your host, Mr. Max, and we are here at Friends Church, Ruaraka Local Church. And today has been a special day, and we are here just to dive deeper into it to understand what is it about this day. And today I have a beautiful lady on set, and she is the clerk for Ruaraka Local Church. She is the best placed person to tell us more about this day. And I don't want to say anything. Let us hear from her. Maybe let us start by her introducing herself.
Thank you. Thank you, Max. Good evening. My name is Lydia Masambo, clerk, Ruaraka Local Church. Pleased to be with you and discuss with you a few issues in regards to Ruaraka.
Thank you so much. A special day today. What is it about? What's happening in Ruaraka?
A great day indeed. It has been 21 years. Ruaraka is celebrating 21 years since we received the local status. It is a great honor seeing this local church grow from where we started in 2004 when we got our local status to right now where we are, a big church with a huge congregation, appreciating the things that God has done over the years, appreciating the growth in numbers, appreciating the youth growing to the higher programs. All this is a great achievement, and especially for the members of Ruaraka who have tirelessly given to see that we have the best church under Kariobangi monthly meeting.
Wow, 2004 up to now, what our journey has been, 21 years. Where did this all start from up to where we are now?
So Max, let me just cross back a bit from where we started. The church started in 1987. Between 1997 and 1991, the church was started in Babadogo area, at the grounds, you know, the Babadogo grounds.
Yeah. Yes.
So that is when it started there as in the name of Tusker Friends Church.
Yeah.
There were workers who worked at the Tusker breweries, formerly Tusker, who started it just to congregate together.
Yeah.
There was a social hall there. Then we started. We bought that area with around 20,000.
Wow.
So from there, there was demolition because the land was disputed. So there was demolition in that area, and then we got shelter around Maranatha. This was another church housing us. So it was a bit of a challenge having two churches having service at the same place. So there were quite a number of issues in terms of our conducting our church services vis-a-vis the Maranatha services. Thereafter, we moved to a corridor junction just opposite Roy Spares.
Yeah.
There was a bakery there. Somebody who was kind enough offered us that area to just worship even as we sorted out ourselves.
Wow.
But then we thought moving up and down over the years was not a good thing, because then we would lose our members. Moving from one place to another just to worship. And I must appreciate the members who are there because they really had the urge to continue worshiping despite the challenges. Then as we were at the bakery area, we just thought, we formed a construction committee, which is now called the Service Commission. We started giving small. We started giving as little as 20,000. Wow. In our very little way, we got the first amount, which was around 40,000, and we were able to secure a plot around here.
Which year was that?
That was in 2000. It was 2000 and what? It was in around 2001.
Okay.
That is when we thought of, no, it's time now we had our own area.
Sure.
Then we bought the first plot, and we thought before the owner was kind enough to extend and tell us that if it is a church, we will still give you another plot with the same with almost the same amount.
Wow.
So this owner was very generous, and he really pushed us, and he had even secured another 2 plots for us so that we can also have the urge to move. Thanks to the Service Commission and the leaders then, led by PC Joseph Manyika, who took it up and pushed the members in their very little way. We were able to, we were contributing every Sunday. We would give 20,000, and the money would be taken straight to Gadesha. With that kind of zeal, Gadesha thought, no, these people are serious. He added us another. So with that, we kept on pushing and pushing and pushing. So we did our first structure around 2002.
Yeah.
I said 2001, yeah. We started doing a structure. We did a mabati structure just out there.
Yeah.
It's just started like the 4 corners. Down it was matope, and when it rains, there was a lot of rain, water flowing, and we would step on it like mabati. So we kept on it there. With time, we came now to started plastering it. We didn't have a structured way of doing it, but we would work based on the funds that we were getting.
Yeah.
So with the continued push with the members, we now came up with, no, we can do better.
Yeah.
We had already secured the 3 plots, and we had already now gotten the allotment letters, and we were comfortable now. We can move. And members who were continuously giving also gave the leadership the urge to now move to a structure which is now here. So it was a long walk. In 2004, we now pushed for our local status because we thought now it is time we need to stand on our own, because doing it from here was better coordinated than doing it from our father church, who is Kariobangi local church, Kariobangi North local church. We shifted away from Kariobangi local church, Kariobangi North, under the Kariobangi monthly meeting.
Wow, that's quite a journey.
Yeah,
that's quite a journey, and I just feel to interject a little bit, looking at the process and the journey that you walked from Tusker to Maranatha to a corridor, now coming to this space. I'm looking at that. I'm just thinking there should have been some kind of leaders or men and women who had focus and the zeal to make sure that this church stands. Do you maybe if you can mention a few of the leaders that you can remember who made it possible that even above all those challenges? Unajua mtu akisikia Tusker anasema Tusker ni kanywaji, and how did it happen? So you moved away from a name that looked like kanywaji, but you held on to the faith up to this place. What are some of these people who held on to it and made sure that we get to this day, celebrating 21 years?
Wow. Great thanks to the great leadership that was there then. We can mention our first PC, who was Joseph Manyika, a very great and strong man. He would stand in, even give from his own pocket to make sure that the church activities would still move on swiftly. So Joseph Manyika, in collaboration with the construction team, there was a great team which had been appointed to oversee the matters construction at this place, and also buying of the plot. So there was Baraza. There was Baraza, who was also chairing the service commission team. We had Martin Situma, who is also a great person who has been there. We have also had Patterson.
Yeah.
Patterson, who still worships with us but now retired. They took that step. There are many others who I might not mention for now, but the construction team led by Baraza, then there was Martin Situma, then there was Patterson, then there's Joy Lengoi, who has really come in, and then to the now leadership. On the PC side, we had Joseph Manyika, and then we had Paul Mushira. Joseph Manyika took up again, and then because Paul Mushiri was unwell, then thereafter there was now Joel Deye. We also had some women of strength who really came in. We also had Maureen Bala. We had Mebo Lundu, who is still with us, and who did a very good job. On the pastoral side, we had pastors like the late Mark, who really played a big role here.
Yeah.
And I think most of us knew. Then we had the evangelists who are with us, who would really come in and support, besides the coordination from the monthly meeting, where we had pastors rotating and supporting the team largely. We had Pastor Lugalia, who also came in and really supported. We have had Pastor Msanga, who was really in Kama, together with John Muyangu, Evangelist John Muyangu. They really did a good job.
Wow.
And that is where we are because of their zeal.
Wow.
Yes.
For all those names that have been mentioned and many others that have not been mentioned, we give you your flowers, because without you, we wouldn't be here, we wouldn't be celebrating. And that is what we are looking forward to as we move forward, hoping and we'll achieve more as we keep going. Now, you mentioned some ladies or some women who stood firm and made sure that they are going on with the journey that they had chosen, that to make sure the church stands. And now Ruaraka is now celebrating 21 years, and they have a clerk who is a lady. How do you feel being that position? Being that there are ladies also who laid the foundation for you, now you are here. How do you feel being that position?
I feel great. I feel great to be the first lady PC who took up the challenge to take up this position, because during the time, and maybe I could mention, I came in as a very young, naive girl who had just been married, and I didn't know how to start. But immediately, someone spotted and put me into the youth office.
Wow.
So having gone through the youth office twice I started as the secretary. They then used to call the secretary, not the recording clerk. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember one time Pastor Lugalia saying that this is our Condoleezza Rice. And I did 2 terms in youth as the reading, then I came as the secretary. Then I moved from the youth office. I came to the main office. I started as a reading clerk, then recording clerk, then the vice clerk, and then now the PC.
Wow.
So through the journey, it continued to give me confidence that I could make it. And I couldn't believe in myself, but with time I came to realize, having grown with my grandfather, who was also a leader throughout in church, I got into the system, and that made it easier. So being a lady, at first I thought, wanawake kuongoza kanisa ambayo iko na wanaume kutoka Maragoli, Bukusu, the rest. It was not an easy move, but I think God just gives you the grace to pick it up and move. So for me, I count on the support of the members of the church who have been very supportive. Most of the time they say the ladies are your own enemies, but for me, I've never had so many challenges. Of course, they will criticize in their own way, but then you pick them as a positive and you forge on. I look at the members of Ruaraka Church and I'm so grateful for them. I look at the Quaker men of Ruaraka Church, I'm happy. The youth have given me the full support. My family, you know, being a career woman, being a wife, being a leader in church, it could be quite challenging at times. But God can never give you something that you cannot handle.
Amen.
Chooses you to handle it and gives you the grace to handle it.
Amen.
That has been my move throughout the journey.
Wonderful. Through the days that you've been in this church from the beginning, you've said you've been in different positions in the youth office, in women office, and now you are the clerk. What are some of the transformations that you've seen in church that you can look into and say this was a turning point as a church for us to move forward?
Wow, there are many things I would thank God for, and many things that we can see and also tap ourselves that we really made those strides. Number one was the move from the Mabati. And I remember the first time they drew this plan. Everyone would come here and look at us. We were around number of maybe 20 to 30 rotational, not constant.
Yeah.
But even when we got the plan for this church, we looked at it and tukajiuliza, are we really serious? Because when it was wakati the foundation was laid out, we asked ourselves, are we going to manage?
Yeah.
And then when the slab was done, we kept on asking ourselves, are we really serious with this? The groundbreaking was done in 2013. Yeah. Then we were asking ourselves, are we really going to make it? I remember one pastor who came and looked at us, looked at the foundation and told us, hey, Ruaraka, mtaweza kweli? But I thank God because he came later on and saw the church, and that is a testimony. So the starting of the foundation was quite a challenge because we were looking at ourselves that we could handle this much. Again, we came back, we would reflect back and see, did we make the right choice? Yeah. But I think in God's work, you'll never go wrong. Sure. You will never go wrong. There's a reason why we chose that foundation, because if we had made a smaller church, right now the congregation is big and we would not have the space to need. So that was the very first achievement that I would count myself lucky to be among the leaders who took that step, who took that bold step to make sure that this foundation was going to be done and this church was going to be built. In our own little way, we have made it, and that is a great one. Then, of course, the rest came in, the roofing, the tiling, and many others that are still coming up. We count ourselves lucky to have gone that way.
Being in a church environment, you've said your grandparents were involved in church work. Now you are in church work. You've talked about the process you've gone through from the beginning up to now. How has the church impacted into your personal life? A testimony that you can offer that I am here, I have been here, and I'm still here because I have seen this.
I like telling stories, and let me just pull you back, kidogo. I was brought up in Eastlands. Oh. I schooled in one of the schools in Eastlands. I started school in Shaurimoyo Friends Church. Then our monthly meeting was of Fafa Maringo. And every time we'd go to church, we knew that after the service, we would rush home to prepare tea for the pastors and the rest. And you never know this when you're doing it. Yeah. But later on in life, it starts counting. I once went to Gikomba Market, and which was our market then and still is. I would go find my classmates and some of the schoolmates there, and I would ask, Flani alienda wapi? Flani, you'd find died, entered into gangs, the robbers of the days,
Yeah.
even ladies,
Yeah.
even ladies. So in that way, my grandfather used to say, mmefunikwa na damu ya Yesu, such that you are protected, you cannot go wrong.
Yeah.
So in all this, we passed through so many challenges. I count myself, because where I am, I would have been one of the robbers, the gang robbers.
You would have joined your colleagues.
Exactly. Or
because
those,
it felt like it's the flow of the moment.
exactly. Or those twilight girls then
Yeah.
in town. But
Yeah.
I thank God, because in all the steps, in all the directions, God has just given us favor. God has just protected us in a way that I can't explain. If I start testifying now, I would testify till tomorrow, because even now, you look at some of my age mates. Tukisimama nao pamoja, you would think I'm the youngest, and some of them I'm even older. I'm much older.
They will think you are their daughter.
Exactly. So kuna kale ka favor Max Mungu anakupatianga.
Yeah.
Yani unakaa tu, una shine, una glow, you stand out, and the rest is history. Wow. In my place of work, God just shines. In my family, God just shines. In my day-to-day activities, you just find God's favor, because you have committed yourself throughout your years that you're going to serve this Lord.
Wow.
Now, you can't go wrong.
You know, when we are young, our parents always used to tell us, "Mmefunikwa na damu ya Yesu," and it never meant something. I think now at this really age, we can look at it and say, when they said those words, they really mattered, because God has kept us safe.
Exactly.
Ruaraka has been through a journey, 21 years celebrating, 21 years of great things, 21 years of great achievements. What are some of the things that other churches can learn from what Ruaraka has gone through, or what Ruaraka has done, that can also help them grow strong and also count years as they grow?
There's a lot to learn. There's lots of learning, lots of takeaways throughout the journey. It starts with the leadership.
Yeah.
It starts with the leadership. The values that have been instilled in the Quaker Friends churches are very clear.
Yeah.
When you have those values, then you run with them even as you lead. That will really, it really counts.
Yeah.
So, for example, let's put integrity, because in this you work with the church finances, you work confidentiality, you work with member information. Then focus. As a church, listen. As a church, when you focus that you're going in this direction, it's best to stick to it. And also, more importantly, listen to the members. Yeah. Because the members have the say. The members look at it in a different angle than your angle. Whenever they give their views, I'm one person who is a communications person and like customer feedback. Yeah. And the same thing that I apply in church is member feedback. When you listen to the members, you want to go this way, but you realize there's a lot of noise. You take a step, listen to them, then restructure and move with it. Once you instill that trust in the members, that they can confide in you, then they can, that you can listen to them, that they can trust with you with their finances, things just flow. It all flows, and you'll find yourself going places.
Wow, that's wonderful. It's all about discipline in leadership, listening to the members, and getting focused to what you want to do.
Exactly.
That's nice. I think whoever is watching and listening can take in the lessons that they may also learn from it and grow. Now, years come in, years go, and we've had different leaders. We've had different positions in church, and people have been there to represent the church. Today, you are in charge of the Ruaraka Friends Church, local church, and we have always talked about women in leadership. What can you say, being in that position, being a mother, being a career woman, being a wife, and being in leadership in church, and being a lady? What can you say about women in leadership?
I look at the ladies or the young ladies in church, and I see a lot of shyness. I see a lot of retreats in why should I take it. Most of them fear commitment. Most of them, I don't know, just shy off.
Yeah.
I stand as an example to all the women, the ladies who are coming up, and I tell them, look, I did it, you can do it, and you can even do it better. Yeah. So I try to model, I try to speak to them, I try to encourage them that if I did it, you have done it. Just going back to the youth till the PC, those have been many years since, that was 2011 till now. There are many years then, and I have stood strong. Of course, there are many challenges that will come by. There's also that bias, but I thank God because in church it is not that much.
Sure.
So I would urge the ladies to take up. You're not taking up just for yourself, you're taking for your family and the generations to come, because when you bring your children into the church and allow them to take up these positions, it exposes them, gives them the confidence, and also in all the other activities, they are able to push through. So for the ladies, for the women out there, for the women in church, please, this is a stepping stone to the wider community, the wider leadership. Let us take up those steps. In Kariobangi monthly meeting, I think I'm the only one lady. We have 5 local churches. I would want us to balance that in the coming years and have, if not two ladies, 3 ladies would work, because then you understand as a mother, as a lady, you understand the men, the youth, and the rest of the congregation better than even the men. So ladies, I would urge you to pick up these positions because number one, for the church, it will not only give you the platform, but also the blessings and also the confidence to run out with the other activities across the world or the region or the community.
Wonderful. What are we believing God for in the next season? As a church, what are we envisioning? What are we trusting God to do for us, even as we move forward?
We have done a lot, and many thanks to the members again, because they're the ones who finance all this. There's still a lot that needs to be done here. There's quite a lot that needs to be done here. There was one of the elders those days who was Masaviru. I don't know, I can't remember the other name, the late Masaviru, had a great vision for Ruaraka in particular. He had a he wanted a big university to be built here. He wanted this place to become the largest monthly meeting across under an NYM. He wanted this place to be a place that would welcome the community, the people living around here, and also help change their lives. We still can do the same or make it better. This is a very good place surrounded with a community of different people, different tribes, in all categories, low class, middle class, and high class. We still are open in our doors to welcome all these people. Number one, to fellowship with us. Number two, to change the community's setting, bring them to church, because that is the vision and mission of our yearly meeting, just to bring more people to church so that we can spread the gospel. This can be a catchment area where we can have people just come and pray and worship and fellowship. Let's have services here, not only Sundays, but we can have services throughout the week, and make this place an environment where the people can just come and get the peace that is required. A peaceful place where you can pray, a peaceful place where our youth can just come and have seminars, meeting, a catchment area where all the churches can come and do a lot here. And not only churches, we have weddings that can be held here. We have graduations, schools around here. This is a big place where schools around here don't have space. So we bring them here, even as they do their graduations. Also, we worship and uplift the name of the Lord. Amen. There are many other things that we can think of for now, but let's urging the young leaders who are coming up and taking up this place to look ahead, so that we can make Ruaraka greater than ever.
Wow. Going back to the words of Mr. Masaviru, even though we've not achieved what he envisioned, as much as we're still talking about it, that means it's still in our hearts. And more to what you have already said, I want to trust that whoever is watching, the leaders that shall be coming in, whether it will be you or any other person stepping into your position, let us remember this vision and let us work on it to achieve it, because that is all we desire for this beautiful church.
Exactly.
Coming almost to an end, what is the one message that you'll give to the members of this church that you've led for how many years now?
More than 15 years.
Wow, that is wonderful.
Not more, for the leadership is more than 15 years.
Yeah.
But now we are at 21, of course, many years.
Sure. For the time you've interacted with this church in leadership position, and even up to now when you are a clerk, what is the message you can give to the members of this church?
The members have been great. I must admit that the members have really given, and I'm hoping and praying that in their various ways, there are many testimonies that are going to come here. And I must say, I have been here, and every other, I can count 3 or blessings, including myself. I came here just young and married in 1998. I took so many years to get a baby. So many years means over 12 years to get a baby. COVID period.
Yeah.
It was quite a challenge, and for your immersion throughout the years, I would count 2020 with the COVID-19, that is when we gave the highest, and it was online. Things were just bubbling, and we quickly went to online giving, online fellowship, and it was amazing because even the congregation, online congregation was much higher. We have never hit that, and even the givings then set pace for these other years. So despite the challenges that may come in, economic, whatever, let us continue serving God faithfully, and we will never, it is never in vain. It is never in vain.
Wow. It's never in vain. It's always good to serve God.
Yes.
And currently as a church, what are some of the challenges that you'd say you're going through as a church? And also some of the challenges that you went through before, throughout the journey, and appreciating even the situation that you are in now.
The challenges are quite a lot. We would talk about the rotational congregation today. You get, but most of them try to make it. So there are many, of course, financial issues is across board. It has always been there. But once you give them the trust that with whatever you give, you can see that you'll keep seeing the trust. So that consistency has been a major challenge, but we thank God because the Church of God will continue moving with the other people. Tomorrow, leader is not there. God brings in somebody else to pick up from there.
Yeah.
And we keep praying, ya kwamba it is a continuous cycle until maybe siku ile Yesu atakuja.
Amen. Na imani atafika.
Amen.
Na atatupata tukiwa tayari.
Exactly.
You've talked about the time when Lydia hatakuwa. What would you advise the next generation of leaders that will be coming in after Lydia?
Thank you. After Lydia, I'm seeing quite a lot of potential in the members, the leadership that we had. After Lydia, there's still a lot to be done. I'm also a tech person, and I know that things are changing. Yeah. Things are changing, and with the technology, we have online services. With technology, we have live events, because you will not just sit and wait for members to come to church for you to run the services. There are many other adaptations. We need to move very fast and move to it. I must appreciate the youth office for really taking up that challenge to move with the technology, the media team, many thanks, because with this, we are reaching out to as many as possible out there. So not only the physical fellowship, let us look at the online and really embrace it, really move to enhance our technology to make sure that we are reaching out to as many as possible. After Lydia, I'm looking at this church being able to conduct outreaches around here, having more members. After Lydia, I would want to see us really looking at the Sunday school section. I'm very passionate about the Sunday school section because that is where my talent came from. So tapping those talents that are there in Sunday school. Today I was just speaking to some of the children out there and I was asking, didn't see you dance. And one of them told me, talent yangu siku dance. What is your talent? Singing. Nikasema, yes. When we bring them here to dance, let's also have them praise one of these days, or also discuss with the Sunday school teachers to have them also tap those talents, expose them, because that is where you really bring out either leaders or the praisers. Let's tap all that talent from the beginning to the end so that we can make that continuous flow in terms of leadership and the rest. And to the Mission Commission, a good job. Let's also bring in more evangelists. Ruaraka is known to have brought up so many evangelists in the past. We have Pastor Saviru, who is now serving Donholm. We have Pastor Walter, who is serving Nairobi Monthly. We have so many pastors who have gone through us, and we are proud of them when we see them shining out there.
I was to tell you, give me your parting shot, but there's something you mentioned, and I'm intrigued to ask you this. There has been a concern about consistency of the youth age in church. You find that there are times they are in church and they just go missing. What are some of the things you feel maybe we could do as a church to make sure that we keep our youth in church, we keep them appreciated and keep them feel like they should be in here?
Yeah, that has been a big challenge. Youth, unajua youth wako ile age.
Energy.
They have that energy. I think with lots of counseling, lots of seminars, lots of talks with the youth, giving them, number one, when you are in leadership as a youth, first and foremost is discipline. And the Gen Zs have their own way of doing things. Of course, understand them, guide them, direct them in areas that they can do their age areas, as well as maintain the discipline that is there in church. There's a lot. It's quite a big area that needs a lot of attention, with good mentors, with good leaders, so that we can guide them right from, we start even at Sunday school, so that they grow knowing the values of Friends Quaker Church, how I need to treat myself even as I get to the teen, how I need to behave in church even as I get into the youth. When we do that from that age, then we will not have these challenges that we have right now. But despite all that, let's embrace them. Unamwambia hapo umekosea, this is the way you really. And I also urge the youth, please listen. Discipline is key in leadership. In whatever you do, it will count and it will come to haunt you baadaye. Jumping from one church to another because you are umekasirika na ule leader, ule leader anipendi na amenikasirisha sana. Listen and look at the better side, because the leader would not be talking not to condemn you. Leader is talking to guide you and pull you to the right direction. For example, when I was growing up, when I was coming to the church, I would wamama wangeniita tu wananiambia hii nguo umevaa leo si mzuri. Tafuta nguo mrefu inafika hapo chini ya magoti, so that even when you're seated in church, it is appealing to the environment.
Yeah.
So when you're called upon and told that, don't take it negatively, take it positively as a change. I know, siku hizi tunasema my dress, my choice. Let us move with times. As much as we are moving with the town, let us know ya kwamba this is not a society, this is a church. There are many churches that are very strict, but for us, let us keep the values, let us give the etiquette of the church so that we can make it different from the chamas, the other congregations we have, because this is a holy place. So discipline is key. Guidance and counseling of each and every one of us. We want to bring up children that are disciplined. We want to bring up leaders that are responsible, that can be admired, that have values, because if you are a leader and people see you talking to the congregation with tainted images, it never augurs well in church.
Wow, that is powerful, and I believe we can take our lessons from that. That it's not personal. It's a matter of just making sure that we have a better generation tomorrow to take over this church and lead it into the direction that God wishes.
Exactly.
Maybe as you give us your parting shot, maybe you can mention to us some of the leaders you are running the church with currently, and maybe the Mission Commission. They just feel appreciated because as it is now, you guys are doing a good job, and that's why we can even get to the level where we are now. That's why we can get to the 21st celebration of our birthday, and maybe you can sing them a happy birthday song.
I really want to appreciate the leadership. We have had a very strong leadership, great support throughout the period as I end my term by end of this year. We have the chairs, the program chairs, who have really done a good job, starting from the QCM. We have Martin Eboso, who has really tried to make sure that the Sunday school, the teens, and the younger youth are really taken care of. I also want to really appreciate the youth chair, Derek Ndamwe, who has really steered the youth, mobilized the youth in many ways. You'd call on Eric, please ambia youth to support Zanini, and you count it done. Yeah. You would, I would also want to really appreciate the movement the youth have been doing here and at Marurui, because then it brings more youth to the church. I'm seeing quite a number. I also want to really appreciate the USFW chair, Betty Liayuga, who has also really tried, Pia Kudil na young mothers. It has not been easy in a way, but she has really tried to bring them together, tell them responsibilities of mothers in church, as well as also push them to the leadership and even the movements around monthly meetings, so that we can also reach out and wide to as many women as we can. Also, the Quakermen chair, Brother Timothy Miheso. Having Quakermen is not easy. Yeah. Just bringing Quakermen in church is not easy. He started with the 5, 7, 12. Now he's at almost 35 Quakermen in church. Wow. We really need to give him a thumbs up, because over the years, Quakermen were forgotten, but he has really made it possible. More so the team that I'm working with in the main office. I would start from the assistant treasurer, who is Werunga Burundi, who has also really taken it up. He's a very vibrant youth, really coming up. Having pushed him to main office, alishanga mbona mnanipeleka ofisi ya wazee, but he really quickly picked it up and is really supporting the treasury. I would also want to mention Brother James Kisanya, who has really made sure that the finances of the church have really improved. We started from zero. We started from very far. And having us, even in committees, receiving the statements, receiving the breakdown of the money coming in, money going out, it is not an easy task, because people will measure you with that trust in finance.
Sure.
I would also want to really appreciate the reading clerk, who is Moses Ingwe. Ingwe is mumuita mtu wangu wa mkono because Moses Ingwe is just all round.
Yeah.
Nampigia saa zingine saa 5 nimekumbuka na nisipo kuambia nitasahau.
Yeah.
Please make sure note 1 2 3 and then we'll talk tomorrow. He would wake up and write down and then Clark ulikuwa unasema nini? He has really been putting me on toes. I would want people to be reached here and there. He was always running up and down. I want to really appreciate my namesake Lydia Wekulo, who is also the recording clerk, really trying and especially in coordinating events, functions. She's a teacher by profession. She carries that to the church. You'll count on her on matters events of the church. Then we have the vice clerk, who is Brother Wycliffe Shikuku, doing an amazing job. When I'm busy, when I'm not around, he would even go as far as asking apana, wacha tufanye hivi na hivi and hivi.
Yeah.
In fact, out of the team, he challenges me more because he would question me and tell me, hivi umesema ni ukweli lakini mimi naona tufanye hivi. And then we would disagree to agree until we get to a solution that is better for the church and for Ruaraka at large. Then of course me, who is always running up and down. I want to thank myself because it has not been easy.
Sure.
It has not been easy. Besides that, my family. Kuwa mama uko kanisani saa 3 usiku unafaa unajua mzee ameoa bibi hajaoa PC.
Yes.
So you have to be there, upike ugali, you do all these things.
Yeah.
It has never been easy, but I really want to thank him because even in my absence, he takes up the role. Now, let me not go further. Wacha tuniachie hapo. I really thank him.
Well appreciated.
I really thank him because sio rahisi.
Sure.
It's not easy.
Sure.
And then, of course, the larger Ruaraka as a whole, because me standing here giving announcements, wengine wananiangalia wanashangaa huyu sasa anasema nini? Anajua ni school fees, shule zimefunguliwa.
Yeah.
But in that tide, they still give in. I can't, there's no words to express how I really appreciate the membership of Ruaraka for just going the extra mile to make sure that when we call for meetings, they're there. When we call for Harambes, they're always there. When we go wrong, they correct us. They criticize to make sure that Ruaraka stands strong.
Wow.
Many thanks. Many thanks.
Wow. That has been wonderful and powerful. I usually talk a lot, but I couldn't say much because there was a lot to hear from Madam Clark, and she's been so elaborate. I really appreciate it. I want to believe everyone who watches this will be able to get some good information even as we move forward. As we finish up, I will not end this without also appreciating you, the work you've done, the work you're still doing. We want also to give you your flowers and appreciate you, being that you are a mother, a wife, and a career woman, and a leader in church. You made that sacrifice for the sake of the church, and we pray that may God bless you together with your family. It has been a wonderful interaction, and it has been powerful and good. Our viewers, I know you are well informed. This has been Ruaraka Media, straight from Ruaraka Local Church, where we keep informing you. So stay tuned for more and more information, more and more church work, and more from Ruaraka Local Church. We love you, and we'll keep you posted. Keep in touch. See you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey. Amemaliza? Thank you. Wow. Hey.